GOtv has been hosting the Commonwealth edition of the Kenya Innovation Week from the 27th of November to today, 1st of December. The platform offered hundreds of tech leaders and young innovators a platform to showcase different innovation products that they have. And among the innovators that we want to feature are students from the Crawford International School. And I'm joined by BAMBA. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
So what is it that you have right here?
Right, so when you're setting it up, we have robots that are designed to follow basic parts laid out by either tape or any form of color.
Okay.
And the way they work is we use modules like the Raspberry Pis or Arduinos. They're small, basically large computers that are compressed into a very small chip, and they can carry all the basic computations. And then on top of that, they have been added a few sensors that can detect color. In this case, this one here is detecting the blackness or the whiteness of a path ahead. If the path is black, you will follow that path. So the Arduino is tied up to those sensors and it's put onto this knockdown board that can be bought in terms of the packs. So at Crawford International School, we have a subject from year 1 to year 9 that is called GoLab. And GoLab essentially allows students to express their creativity using 3D printers, laser cutters, as well as robots such as these ones. And we do these in combination with the United Nations SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So we use different techniques, so either using the 3D printers, the laser cutters, or these Arduino boards with knowledge from other subjects in order to build solutions that will allow us to solve these problems in the future. An example of this way could be used is in hospitals where you need patients who are unable to move towards, let's say, a certain room or a certain doctor. These robots can do the communication, they can move back and forth. Even in warehouses, we can have these robots follow certain paths, so they can pick up hardware or they can pick up crates. That can help reduce the human error and human fatality rates because it's quite a risky job being in a warehouse.
Yes.
So we can upscale these to much larger scale using forklifts and using automatic cameras and using sensors to drive these forklifts into crates. They can pick it up and deliver them safely.
So what was the collaborative process like? How did you collaborate as a team
to make this
of young innovators? Yes.
Right. So within GoLab again, we have access to all of these variety of tools. A Raspberry Pi, we have sensors, we have a battery pack, and we have the chassis of the machine itself. From there, we use instructions, build the prototype, and then we have to program it. So Raspberry Pi is programmed using either JavaScript or Python. And the students are taught that in class on how to do that. So we have a different student who will be in charge of procuring all the pieces. One will be for wiring it all up, one will be for programming, maybe 1 or 2 programming because it's quite a hefty process to program. They have one for testing as well. Looking at it, it looks quite complex, and I imagine that you had some setbacks while developing it. What are some of the setbacks that you had? Well, the first setback was figuring out what goes where. Wiring is a very important part in these electronics, and if you put one pin in the wrong place, it can actually short circuit the whole place, the whole robot. So making sure that the pins are in the correct spot is very important, right? Then on top of that, we have to make sure that the Python programming that we've done is correct. We have to make sure it's following the path that we've set out for it. If the programming is incorrect, we have syntax errors, then that will make sure the robot does not work. So it's a bunch of that, but it's also a learning curve for students. And so I imagine, because you were a team, what were some of the roles that your team members had? Right. From the lead guy to whoever came up with assembling the whole robot, to whoever did the coding. Right. So I was the director of this project. Right. And then what we did is I looked around the school. I didn't only go for the technical students. I looked for some art students as well, because you need to make the thing look good as well. So I looked for some art students who will help design how it's going to look. So they will tell the design, what goes where, and they partnered up with some few other students who knew circuitry quite well, so they could make sure that the design looks well, but also functions well. After that, then we had the assemblers. This was a team of 3 people who worked together to one made the chassis, one made sure that the components were wired separately. So first you make the components separate, you make the chassis separate, then one third member put it all together to make this. And then we had one person in programming, because programming is quite an easy process. You have an experienced programmer. Yes. So we had quite an experienced programmer, and they finished it on their own. All right. So what's the future of this? How do you see it scaling in future? I see in the future, once we integrate these into the UN SDGs, right, we can allow people to use these in order to help people who are disabled, for example. For people like who are on wheelchairs and they can't exactly operate the automatic wheelchairs, we can have these robots make decisions for them and go forward but it also has application in self-driving cars. Self-driving cars can help reduce fatalities in terms of driving, because computers can compute information much faster as well. So there's applications everywhere depending on which place you want to apply to.
All right. Do we have any aspects of artificial intelligence infused in it?
So far, no. Within the course of when we're taught about this, we don't use any artificial intelligence in developing it. But in terms of programming, since our school is part of the Microsoft, we use the new GitHub Copilot program to develop coding much faster. Copilot essentially analyzes code and gives you suggestible code for what you want to put next. So it allows you to program much faster. But the higher years, so around year 12, year 13, that's when we start integrating AI into a lot of our work. But so far, this young at this low level, we do not use AI.
So do you only do hardware, or are you also into software?
We go into both. So in terms of software, we also have, we participate in hackathons where we have to, again, solve the UN SDGs using digital methods. So I can give an example of myself. In this year, I came second place in the Singing Hackathon. And I developed a website that can allow students from 804 schools to apply for internships and job shadowing. So they have an idea of what a future may be for them. They're not only stuck to the normal careers such as a doctor or an accountant. You can explore. So we developed this website where they can apply to it, and it's still just for them. So we do hardware, we do software, we also do a lot of theoretical work. We do a lot of presentation work as well.
What other products do you have at Crawford?
Right. So within Crawford National School, we also offer the Game Jam. The Game Jam is a student-led initiative. It's a national game development competition held exclusively at Crawford National School, second year in the running. It's also special in the way that the entire event is student-led. Students do everything from the procurement of speakers, to judges, to the merchandising, to the marketing, as well as finding funding from sponsors. So no teachers are involved in any step of the Game Jam. So it gears the students to be independent in how to lead. As for the Game Jam itself, it's a competition that encompasses students from all across education. Traditionally, game development competitions or programming competitions are targeted towards the technical students, ones who only do programming, ones who do only maths, those kind of stuff, right? But the Game Jam allows art students to also have a chance in this world. In Crawford, we don't look at STEM, we look at STEAM. Science, technology, arts, engineering, and mathematics.
Awesome.
So within Game Jam, we need art students to come. Art students help in the set design, how you're going to design the game, how it's going to look like. Remember, this is a video game. We need someone who's going to make digital art for like the characters. We need creative writers to make a good storyline for the video game. We need good voice actors and good sound engineers. So we're not only saying the technical students, now we're saying, okay, here's our art students, now you come and work with these technical students. So together, they work and they produce a game. So 6 months prior to the event, we send out our invites and we say, learn some language, learn how to use the platform. Then 2 days before our event, I release the themes to the students. And the themes this year were Beneath the Surface and Lost in Time. Students have 6 days to come up with a game, and that will be judged by a professional panel of game developers in Kenya. Based on that, the students get an exposure into this world. We try to say that game development can be taken seriously. It's usually seen as not a very serious career, but we beg to differ. So another aspect of the Game Jam which I really like is how it promotes creativity. The arts allows you to access more cortexes of your brain. It allows you to produce better results in other aspects of your life. If I can be creative in this, I can produce better results in general. Now the future of Game Jam, as I see it, has two new things. One would be an entrepreneurship aspect, one would be a community impact aspect. As for entrepreneurship, I realized as a STEM student, in general, STEM students are very shy, they're very within their own capsule. I was one, and I know how shy I was. I started participating in more events, and that led me to realize that I can be outgoing, I can present. So the entrepreneurship aspect allows these students to do presentation, to pitch their games to publishers. So we have a professional panel of publishers that will come. They'll see how well they present their game. That will allow them, give them essential skills. As for the community impact aspect, I see games as not only for fun, but can be used to impact the community for the better. I see in the future how we can help students who are neurodivergent in the aspect that they have like maybe OCD, ADHD, or they have autism. We can use these games to stimulate them, to help them learn, because they can't go to traditional schools. So by we're using games to teach them, we can help them learn what they're missing out. Students as well who don't prefer the traditional whiteboard, textbook, and book can also use games in order to learn certain skills, learn what they're learning in school. Crawford has the motto, every child a masterpiece. We like to cater to every single student. And as a result, by having a community impact, we can cater to these students. And lastly, what I hope to achieve, maybe not in the future, maybe not next year, but in the next few years,
Okay.
Patients who have had accidents that affect their neurological pathways and can't have a lot of mobility anymore,
Okay.
we can use virtual reality and augmented reality headsets to retrain their hand-eye coordination. So we're using games not only for fun, but we're impacting community for the better. So game development can be seen seriously once again.
All right. And finally, what are some of the partners that you collaborate with right now, or ones that you intend to collaborate with in future?
Right. So firstly, we're a Microsoft Showcase school, so we partner with Microsoft a lot in our projects.
Okay.
Then we also partner with Taucho City, this is where our school is situated, and they help us with a lot of the funding. We also have Sebo, they do catering as well as organization of events. We work with STEAM Labs Africa in order to help with our STEAM events. Then we also work with our ABSA, they're our bank provider. So we work with these different organizations and they help us bring these, make these dreams true.
Well, thank you very much, GOtv BAMBA, for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.